Well, everybody, welcome to this exciting moment in Mark and Michelle's lives. Put your worries on hold. We're gathered here to recognize the beauty of love, for everyone to celebrate and to have fun, and to embrace the words that will unite Mark and Michelle in marriage. Now, some of you might not know that their first date was in September of 2014. Mark had just gotten back into town after visiting family and was rushing to get ready so that he could meet up with Michelle. But because of freeway closures, he was forced to drive in the opposite direction and, totally defeated, called Michelle and canceled their date. Now, fortunately, she was forgiving, and they decided to reschedule for the following night. They went to a place called Copper Blues in downtown Phoenix. Mark ordered a drink that happened to have ginger beer as an ingredient, and he asked Michelle if she'd like one. Now, ginger happens to be one of her least favorite things, so she turned down his drink offer, and both got really uncomfortable. He was still feeling insecure from canceling their date from the night before, but after a few minutes, his nerves settled down, and the door opened to a great conversation. They talked about anything and everything, and every topic only drew them in, wanting to know even more about each other. Mark told me he thought that Michelle was just a perfect lady. He'd never met anyone like her. And after spending a couple of hours talking, Mark asked her out on a second date.
Steve asked Laura to be his girlfriend, and not long after that, told her that he wanted to marry her and have a family. And one of their favorite pastimes is hiking and snapping scenic photos, so Steve thought that would be the best way to propose. And just a few months ago, on September 9th, Steve asked the question that brought us all here today. They went for a hike in the McDowell Mountain Preserve, and he led her onto the same trail from 1 year earlier when he told Laura that he didn't think he was the type of guy to get married and have kids. Well, it was time for that trail to leave a different impression on their minds. He then pulled the actual ring from his pocket and dropped down to one knee in the desert. And he said, "This last year has been one of the best of my life. I love your zest for life and how caring you are and how much you love me. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Laura, will you marry me?" And she beamed with a smile and said, "Absolutely." And they kissed and hugged. They celebrated with a casual dinner and then by posting the good news on Facebook for the world to see. And they began to plan for today.
It was their third date that really set their relationship in motion and started the next chapter of their lives. They went out with their friends Sarah and Zach to an Italian restaurant called Alessia's, which has since become one of their favorite spots. And then they all went ice skating, and again, they had a really great time. And while Zach was driving everyone home, Lindsay was resting her head on Jonathan's shoulder as they were holding hands. They wanted to kiss each other, but both were so nervous. Well, finally, Lindsay decided to take the lead, and she leaned over and planted one on him. They shared their very first kiss, and before they knew it, Jonathan and Lindsay were boyfriend and girlfriend. Now, they were not only an item, but they became instant best friends, navigating young adulthood together, and they even started their little family by adopting their Boston Terrier, Stella. He's committed, whether it's to family, friends, baseball, his job, or doing what he can to help you find your happiness, Haley. When disagreements do come up, you can never stay mad at Devin for long because he'll crack a joke and turn the situation into something to smile about. You work so well because you balance each other out. Devin's able to keep your fears in check and bring you back down to reality. So you described your relationship to me as even-keeled. You're both pretty easygoing and able to step back to see the big picture. So your life together has been so much fun. You're looking at your lifelong partner for every adventure to check off of your bucket list. You're teammates and best friends, and so we're excited for you two. May you hold hands until you're old and gray. And may your love grow deeper and sweeter with each passing year. Our hope is that you're able to look back on your lives when you're old, to see that you gave your love and your marriage the best that you had, and that you were grateful for all of life's experiences, both good and bad, knowing that tough times can be great teachers. So may you always see and encourage the best in each other, so that the challenges life brings your way make your marriage even stronger. May you always be each other's best friend and greatest love. So you are now, as your hearts have always known you to be, husband and wife. Devin, kiss your beautiful bride.